Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Shay, your local numerologist. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share. Make sure you are leaving your comments below. I love to hear you guys' experiences. All right, so we are doing a 5-digit number and we have a double digit right here. I do not know what this number is, so let's go ahead and get into it. Remember, guys, as you go through this reading, happiness is always the goal. It is never my goal to make you feel bad or anything about the message. But if you are seeing a number, sometimes it is a warning that you need to do things a little different or do things a little better. All right, so let me grab, I want some rooms. Let's use the big ones, the big boys. All right, so let's start with see what we got here. 66, 1, 9, and 4. 6, 6, 1, 9, 4. Okay, so definitely number 19 is standing out to me. 6, 6, and the 4. What is that? 12, 16. So that comes to a 7. But I do get just from calculating the 19 and the 16 like I did that you guys are kind of dealing with some kind of karmic energy right now. Somebody who basically likes to play on your ego, likes to take advantage of kind of like your insecurities, I want to say. They're always there to play on your insecurities and make you feel bad about yourself or make you feel worse about yourself. They like to take advantage of the power and I don't know, influence that you yield, okay? And then with the 16, it's almost like you allow this because you really care about this person. You really love them, and I don't know, they're a big part of your life, and you probably just don't want to see them be not a big part of your life. All right. So starting with number 66, it is coming up in reverse, but we're going to read the upright version of it. Unconditional love, healing, faith, manifesting goals, desire, and wishes, positive thoughts. All right, but it is coming up in reverse. So the negative connotation with the double sixes coming up in reverse is just that the love that you are allowing to be wielded around you has a very negative connotation. It can be again a manipulative type of love. A lot of times in the family dynamic, because I feel that heavy here, we don't realize that a lot of the shit that our parents did and allowed, like, it was out of line. They shouldn't have pit you against your your siblings, or they shouldn't have clapped when you failed, or laughed at you when you were going through a hard day, or just not provided any support, and believing that that was okay, and also believing that, hey, I did do this, but I'm your mom, I'm your dad, I'm your sibling, I can, you have to deal with me, and in reality you don't. A lot of you guys have given your power up to family. I'm getting family really heavy. This can go for any personal relationship. Again, most of the time, family is who we make it. So even though we start off in life with a specific type of family, we meet friends, we get married, we build our own families. So for some of you, I'm getting this could even be like in-laws, and your significant other has been like going through this like their entire life, and you're looking like, are you crazy? Um, just a little advice: you can't push people to separate themselves from harmful relationships. If something is a deal breaker for you, it's a deal breaker for you. Always respect your boundaries, respect your mental process, and respect yourself. However, if there are gems or something you can drop to help this person through this, I would do that. But definitely don't put the pressure on them in such a way where they feel like you're trying to force them to separate from somebody they care about. That is something that's going to backfire, but you can help them set healthy boundaries, right? We got this we have this one coming up in reverse. I don't know what I was about to say, but it sounded crazy. The number one coming up in reverse is definitely manipulative energy. Somebody wielding power just because they have it. They are putting themselves on the pedestal and they're making everyone kind of subservient to them. Is that the word I'm looking at for? They feel like they're everybody's bosses and they feel like you should do what they have to say. And they've kind of put themselves above like a big old crowd. Like, I'm better than all of these people. It's dangerous thinking that you're better than somebody because it kind of prevents you from being able to learn from them. And also to add that we're all good at something. So you're saying that you're overall better than somebody is kind of you negating the fact that this person may be good at something, or this person may have gone through something that can teach you about yourself or teach you about life or teach you, even if it's something not to do or to do going forward in life. Nine is definitely representing endings, and I also get having too much compassion, being overly compassionate, overly empathetic. This energy is, I'm gonna be honest, it's giving Libra South Node energy, right? It is very people pleasing. It is very, I'm just gonna do it to keep the peace type energy. And then we have this four over here in reverse. It's definitely representing a lack of boundaries, which we already talked about. So overall, that is the channel message for this number 66194. So let's see what the trinkets are saying. Let's pick one at a time. Skull and crossbones. Now, this is the toxic. This is toxic. This situation has literally become toxic. And what I get right now, looking just how the blue and the pink shows up, is that you have kind of shrouded yourself in compassion to the point where you don't speak up and you don't say the things that you need to say. I just saw a mirror, so spirit is like, um, I want to remind you guys the relationships that you keep are a reflection of yourself. And that's definitely very important to see or understand. Compassion is a big thing in life, and I'm never gonna tell you guys not to have compassion. Um Honestly, I want you guys to have the most compassion. Sometimes being compassionate hurts though, because you see that somebody is going through all of these things, and you really want to help them through it, but they're not ready yet. They're not ready to move on. If you ever met somebody that's literally in an abusive relationship, they'll stay there for a while and they're going to leave when they're ready. They're not going to leave when you tell them to. They're not going to leave when you believe things are as bad as they can get. They're just not. People have to go through some realization in their life to realize that a situation is toxic. So I definitely get a very, like, this is like deafening, like to my ears. It's kind of like this might be a situation, and I said that we're shrouded in compassion. It's very cloudy around this person or around you if you are this person. Very, very cloudy. Very hard to see through all of the emotions and all of that. And that's mainly because the boundaries have not been set up right, to the point where this person feels like, hey, they love me. They'll, they love me. So, if they're doing this, it's okay. And that's really what it comes down to. And that's really not, it's not okay. If somebody cares about you, then they will do things to show it. And that's just that. This is a very toxic situation. And, you this right here, I am getting mostly that you need to make sure that you are helping this person set up boundaries. You can't fix other people's relationships. All you can do is support the person whose side that you're on, to make sure that they are putting how their feelings matter in the equation. And that's just period. You can't just be like, oh well, it's just emotions, like that stupid ass sticks and stones make break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's a lie. It's bullshit. People literally kill themselves over words. So we need to make sure that we are taking in the right and the correct energy that is going to help us love more in the future, not be down on love or doubt love. That's not what we need. Um, the fish here, this to me is a vibe of like flying above manipulation, but it's like kind of like swimming through it because you have to figure out what your emotions are in this situation. And when I say you, I mean the person who has all the toxic people around them. This to me doesn't feel like it's about you. I mean, it's about you, and so that you understand that somebody is going through this, and that you understand that this person needs help, and that you understand that spirit puts you in the position to help them with these boundaries. Okay, this rose on the nine definitely is given double compassion, and I do think that this is specifically for you. When you build yourself up spiritually, and you become of like this higher mind, this higher being, you learn to cut people off fairly easily. Even if it's hard, you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna be able to do this. You know, every time this person comes around, they bring me down. And a lot of people, until they're in that situation, they don't understand. Like, hey man, how you cut your brother off? Like, trust, bitch. I don't care. Whoever, I don't care who you are. Like, you gonna be acting crazy, you gonna have to scoot and get the hell on. And I feel like you guys feel that way. But the person you're dealing with, or people, it's fair to say people, you guys may be dealing with some siblings that are playing this game with your parents. um I do get, because I'm back to siblings, so I do get this like triangulation energy where like somebody just pits you against other people. And I finally learned the word for that. Okay, when I looked at the Tim Norman case, I did get very heavily that that's the type of person that he was, just by how he handled that shit with his nephew and his mom. See, he knew he had stolen from his mom, but he blamed somebody else, and he did everything he could to spin a narrative in the family to separate his nephew from everybody. I never followed Sweetie Pie, so going back and looking at it, it's kind of like, oh, I'm looking at it with 2020 vision. I see everything that's going on because I'm like, I see the outcome of it. And if you guys saw at that memorial, it was like, it was like they were blaming him for his own death. Like, oh, he was in the streets and he was doing all of that, blah 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 blah. And I feel that that's what's going on in this dynamic. That there is one person, they are spinning a narrative. They are making sure everybody else is joining in on the party, and they are, and like the family or the other people involved, it could be coworkers, y'all, I don't know. They are becoming complacent in this energy. And that's the reason why I told that story, because all of those people were complacent. All of those people helped to hurt somebody else because they took a side on some shit that they honestly didn't know anything about. It was really none of their business. And clearly, they didn't really know this person. They just went with a bunch of assumptions because of something that they heard. And that's very dangerous to do in any situation. Don't jump on the bandwagon. Okay, again, this is something I feel that you guys already know, but maybe it needs to be brought to the forefront so you see it and you're looking at it like, okay, yeah, this is exactly what's going on. Last thing, like I said, we have the key, and right now, putting up solid boundaries is the key. That's what I'm getting. Like, there just needs to be some solid boundaries. I really like Dr. Oh shit, I can't remember her name now. Anyway, yes, you have to put up solid boundaries. Gray rock, going no contact with toxic people is something that is very useful, and very healthy. But again, you can't tell somebody to stop talking to somebody that they care about. That is not healthy, and that is abusive. You can suggest it, but they're going to do it when they're ready. And I just want to be clear on that because I've been in this situation before, and you're just like, well, I cut my people off because they was acting crazy. But you can't just be like, oh yeah, I cut them off because they were acting crazy. You need to cut them off like right now. You need to stop talking. Like you can't do that. You have to let people come to their own decisions. And you always have to lead by example. If people see like, hey, I know it was, and I miss this person. I cared about them, loved them, whatever, but I had to cut them off because they were toxic to my life. They were bringing me down. They were okay when I was doing bad, and they would rather make me more not okay. Okay, we got two, so we'll just take these two. They were more not okay when I wasn't doing okay. You know what I'm saying? Like joined in a fight or delighted seeing me not be happy. Like, and once you come to recognize that as someone's pattern, it does make it easier to move on, and you can help them recognize it. You don't have to tell them outright, this person is using you, blah, blah, blah. More like, hey, you don't have this, and even though this person really wants it, like you need to make sure that you are okay first because they're gonna always want it, and they can go about asking somebody else. All right, so let's see the numbers we got. So the double sixes does come to three, and then we have three of wands. Definitely advice to turn your back on this toxic situation. Again, guys, if it's something that you cannot handle, if it gets too deep, if you feel like you're being pulled into the toxicity, then you do need to walk away, and think about yourself, who you are, what you need. Okay. So then we have the three of wands, two of wands to the three of wands. A lot of fire energy here. Um, it's to me, it's so funny that fire and air matches up, and air doesn't do anything but irritate the hell out of fire, makes it bigger. And so that's the kind of energy that I get right now because I got the Libra energy earlier, and then we have the wands coming out, which is very, very much fire energy, right? So we have the three going to the two. It feels like, excuse me, it feels like spirit is starting this fire, right? We even have the one and the two coming to a three, right? So the numbers are like as of right now are repeating. Oh yeah, I never added these numbers up either. So 12 is three and four. Four and four is eight. Okay. Yeah, four and four is eight. I mean, you could ignore the nine, but with the nine, in there, it would be what, 17? Okay, so we are looking at, um, to me, this is giving past life coming to play. And so they are having an option right now to move themselves out of this cycle that they've been in for some lifetimes, guys. This has been going on. This is why we talk about breaking generational curses, because you think about it in this life, right? But you don't think about, hey, if it's a generational curse, it's being passed down and down and down and down and down. Every time I'm born again, I'm born into this family with the same fucking curses. And that's why you have to break them, because who's trying to live the same life over and over again? Like who? But anyway, we're back to the three, communication. The two of wands is about planning but not really moving, right? And so what I'm getting is to not be moved by manipulative energy. I do get that this is something that you need to teach this person about love and caring, and how to turn that energy inward, because it's, if you don't have it for yourself, you can't give it to anybody else. Being drained is a very dangerous thing, because in it you end up like resentful, you end up losing a bunch of things, right? So I just want you guys to be aware of that. So we got the nine with the seven of swords. Yeah, they're about to see. I have a lot of compassion in this whole, like the whole entire number is a very compassionate number. I am getting that for sure. Um, but the compassion again needs to be turned inward. There is something that you need to bring to clarity. I don't know if it's something that was done behind this person's back, something that they haven't been noticing, something that has been like sliding under the radar. Well, I say Ray Bar. But anyway, something that hasn't been noticed by this person, you have to kind of like push it into their face so they see it. Um, I feel like honestly, this person needs to be handled very gently. This isn't something that you need to force, but kind of like introduce it slowly as the theme, right? When shit keeps coming up, be like, damn, they did that again. I mean, you can still agree with them, like, that's really messed up that they keep doing that. Just make sure that you're pointing out the obvious because a lot of times we'll bury that. And then I want you guys to start asking questions, right? Like, you know, like, would you do that to somebody? Like, what do you even think it takes to even do that to somebody, to treat somebody that way? How do you think that like represents like how they feel about you? And don't argue with them when they make excuses because they're most likely going to make excuses for this person. Allow them to do it. Allow them to say the stupid shit that's in their head. Allow them to say it out loud. Because I don't know if y'all know this, but like test taking, and I'm still like this to this day. If I don't understand a question, as soon as I read it out loud, it helps me understand. So when we're going through trauma, when we're talking about our issues of our shadow side, when we talk about even manifesting or even praying to our guides and all of that, we talk about saying it out loud because it makes a difference in the communication. So allow them to say that shit out loud. let them let them see how it sounds when it's in the air, right? So we do have air. This is air. So let's see what we got here. Ooh, air again. Eight of Swords, and this one's coming out in reverse. Yes, what these boundaries are going to do um, is allow them to see the truth for what it is. Like there's a lot of revelation that's going on during this time. So I think that's why you guys are seeing the numbers because what's happening right now is spirit is like putting shit on blast for them. Like they're having dreams, they're getting the messages, the coincidences are just becoming too much. The deja vu has them like stuck like what the fuck? So you adding in on this, you saying it out loud, you helping them say it out loud. It's I'm just telling y'all, it's gonna bring some kind of revelation that they are not ready for. That's all I'm saying. But help them through this because for whatever reason, this your people. Okay, this is your people. I mean, you love them a lot, and whoever this is that's not good for them, this group or whatever the case may be, they really need to they're ready. They're ready to end this chapter. They absolutely are. If you guys think they're not ready, they are. They are ready. And I am reassuring you that they are ready. We're gonna get a message for 66194. Let's get an overall message. I could take 3 cards. I'm cool with that. Okay, so we got the moon, 7 of cups, and we have 4 of coins. The moon is 18 coming to a 9. 7 is, of course, 7. And then we have a 4. Okay, so I mean, we got most of the numbers on the board in this case, except for we don't have any 5s here. Okay, well, I guess the 3 and 2 is 5. All right, so anyway, moving on. Yes, we have the moon coming to 18. So let's talk about 18. The number itself to me is speaking to you create your own destiny. And it's very important that we understand that we create our own destiny. We decide where we want to go. We have free will. Everybody has free will. Everything has free will. You have free will. Your soul will always have free will. You decide where you want to go. You decided that you wanted to be here. You decided that you wanted to break this generational curse or help in breaking it. And so did the person that whoever you're dealing with. So I want you guys to definitely take that to heart. Pay attention to your dreams, and also make sure that you don't get caught up in the illusion, right? And I want you guys to make sure you're pointing out the illusion. If you're not the one dealing with this crazy ass family and letting them get away with whatever the case may be, um, make sure that you um, help with setting up boundaries, setting up rules of dealing with these people, because it'll definitely help, right? If things become too much, it's okay to be like, you know what, I'm okay. I'm gonna pull out. I'm gonna move on. Seven of Cups is again, Seven of Cups represents illusions. Absolutely. I feel like there is a curtain that is coming down. You see how this Four of Coins? Somebody's been holding on to something and they're letting it go. So these illusions have been prominent, and that curtain is gonna come down. The truth is gonna come out. I keep telling y'all that how this person really feels. Um, because they've just been taking advantage. They find whoever very useful to whatever they want and whatever they need. So they're okay with using them until it no longer serves a purpose. Okay. Um, yeah. Definitely right now, this person, I'm getting huge manipulative energy. This is coming out sideways, right? So what I'm getting is there is an imbalance in leadership. There's an issue with compassion and lack of compassion, right? And this is not helping this person function. It's taking away from their energy. It's taking away from their health. Um, I don't know why I hear pills. Maybe somebody just started some new pills because of some health issues. Like it's stemming from stress and dealing with this. Okay, so I just want you guys to know that stress definitely manifests in a very physical way. Like once you've been on this earth long enough, you just know that that's the case. Okay, but anyway, that is all I have for this number 66194. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, leave your experiences in the comments, and as I always tell you guys, happiness is the goal. I'll see you next time.